Today I have the top 10 Stitching Cosmos online course questions presented by people before they enroll in the class. So these might be some of the questions that you are wondering about before you invest in this course. Hi, I'm Sarah from sewingmastery.com, and I have enjoyed, number one, filming all the lessons for our Stitching Cosmos online course, plus all the students who have truly enjoyed the course, learning more about their sewing machine, learning more about their accessories, whether they've had a handful of accessories that came with their sewing machine that they just never used, and then those of you who have taken decorative stitches to a whole new level. So we get asked all the time, number one, is this a live course? So these days, courses are usually done as a prepared filmed course, kind of like watching a movie, like inviting me to your sewing studio. By having a course that is not recorded live or requiring you to be in a course at a certain time on a certain day, allows you to be able to go back and re-watch those lessons over and over as needed. There's a lot of techniques that you might not even know exist. So you kind of go, what? What was that? And you rewind it and watch it again. You maybe watch it, and then when you're ready to sit down at your sewing machine, you push play again and watch it and hear it as the information it goes in for a second, maybe even a third time, as you truly grasp the technique. And when you're doing it hands-on, I truly know that you will get the most out of our lessons. Number two, is there a limited time that I need to take these lessons or watch the videos? On our course, you enroll for life. So that means that you can get started right away, and if life happens, you can get back to it when time allows. Maybe you go on vacation and you just want to watch some videos and get prepared for when you get home and do your actual sewing techniques. Another common question is, people take a look and see that I've done all these sewing techniques on quilts, and a curve no less. And people say, I'm not a quilter, will I benefit from this course? Yes, all these techniques are geared for you to learn your machine, learn the techniques and accessories that go with your machine, and find all those corners of your sewing machine that you didn't even know existed. There are times when techniques can be put into garment sewing, home dec items, and you name it. Gifts become more personal and even a little bit more creative than originally designed by maybe the pattern you are following. So just because I've done it on a block doesn't mean that you have to finish the quilt. I've had people do the blocks and then just use them as the surface and then transfer those techniques onto other projects in the future. But what if you don't own all these presser feet? I know if you've taken a look at the list, I've included a lot of accessories that you might not own, or you might not even know what they are. So here's one thing about the course that I always tell people. Number one, this is a great course to learn about feet that you didn't even know existed. Why buy something before you know how it's going to be used? And because we take feet and use them for probably a little bit more than what they were originally made for, that's what this creative course is all about. So by watching the lessons, you will see how to use the accessory I'm featuring. Also probably pick up a couple tips of ways that you could do that same technique without the presser foot. We always know that the right tool always makes that technique go a little bit smoother, faster, and probably a little bit more fun. So at that point, you can decide if that accessory is right for you after you learn that it already exists. So that is one thing. You might also find that you will never use that foot in your lifetime. So thank you. You didn't have to buy that foot and then realize it afterwards. So again, the lessons watched before you buy some of the accessories that we feature could be more beneficial, and maybe you'll save some money in the long run. Since our Stitching Cosmos courses are actually done on a Bernina in the Bernina Stitching Cosmos course, a Viking in the Viking course, and a Pfaff in the Pfaff course, people ask me, well, what if I don't have that exact model? You're going to realize that stitches, techniques, feet are actually quite universal. So as you see me working on whatever machine I've actually used in the course, it will actually be very similar to what you are working on. Trust me, you don't have to have my exact stitch. You're going to find what works for you on your machine with the accessories you have. So don't mind which machine I use. It really is going to be a timeless course because these techniques and accessories have been around for a long time and things that you'll be able to use for all of your future projects. Now, one of our most popular free videos that you can watch is how to make a stitch book, where we recommend that you stitch out all your decorative stitches that are in your machine before you start the course. Now, do you have to? No, you don't, but those that do, I think, really appreciate the lessons a lot more. Maybe they actually understand or go into a little bit more depth when you have that understanding of all those amazing stitches that you have. Maybe instead of doing the stitch book all up front, and for those of you with a lot of stitches, that could be quite overwhelming, that maybe you work on lesson 1 and a couple pages of your stitch book. Start with lesson 2 and then integrate a couple more pages of stitch outs from all those wonderful decorative stitches. The more you stitch, the more you'll use them. Trust me. So a stitch book is great, and like I said, it's one of our free videos, so we will put that down in the links below for you to get started, maybe even before you roll in the course. Which leads me to, where do I find those 10 free videos that you always are talking about, Sarah? Those are available to you. You don't even need a login. It's just wonderful the way our platform is set up, where you can watch the videos that we have opened up to preview for free, so you can see if this course is right for you. Let's talk about some of the tools that I do use in the Stitching Cosmos online course. So I was inspired to do these curves, number 1, because I love the cut around tool. Now, some of you have chosen not to purchase this, and that is fine. We've actually uploaded some templates that you can use for the majority of your blocks. But it is truly easier. There are some things I do use that cut around tool for that would be beyond what it's normally designed for. So definitely, if you have the option to buy the right ruler, that is true for any of the courses you're taking, is buy the tools that the teacher recommends, because there's a reason that that teacher is using that particular tool. I use it throughout. It's great. But again, if you don't have access to that tool, because I know we have students around the world, our company that we work with that sells the cut around tool actually has and will ship international to you. But if you can't wait to get started, like I said, we've put some templates. Which leads me to the other question. We do have a free video where I talk about using an AccuQuilt fabric cutter and their Drunkard's Path die to do the blocks. Now keep in mind, those blocks are much, much smaller than the ones you see in the quilt behind me. And no, you don't have to have an AccuQuilt cutter for this particular class, but I did open up that video so you can take a look, because I know a lot of you do have AccuQuilt fabric cutters and you might already have that die and you'd be ready to start right away. Now, something else that we've kind of added over the years is a fiber exchange. So we are going to continue doing this as long as I possibly can. We will be offering the fiber exchange 3 times a year. So in January, in May, and in September. So whenever you actually join the course and want to participate in the fiber exchange, just note that there will be another exchange coming up shortly. So you can gather your fibers, take a watch of the video where we talk about which fibers are appropriate and how you can end up with 20 times 3, 60 different fibers from around the world of other students doing the same exact Stitching Cosmos course with you. If you haven't already found it, we do have Facebook groups for each of our courses, the Bernina, Viking, and Pfaff. And if you are a Baby Lock, Brother, Janome, Juki, or Singer user, we do recommend that you take the Husqvarna Viking Stitching Cosmos course, because those feet and those techniques on that machine are the ones that relate to your machines the closest. So we definitely want you to take a look. It really is all about the technique, and if you ever need questions answered about your Singer feet or your Brother feet, I am very familiar with all the brands of machines out there and would be happy to direct you or help you along the way. So if you're tired of sewing straight, I invite you to check out the Stitching Cosmos online course. I hope to see you in class soon.